Hey, Shalom, it's the brother Abad. You're back here again. Before I get started, like always, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem, Hakodash. Double honors to my teachers, the elder apostles of Great Millstone. And Shalom to the hopeful elect. Look, I wanted to touch on how Jake continues to fail to realize that you cannot put your faith, trust, you cannot give your strength, your beliefs to anything outside of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. That goes for men and women. Women don't put your full trust and strength into a man. Men don't put your whole faith, trust into a man. Vice versa. A woman. At the end of the day, our Savior, our power, our strength comes from Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I was listening to a TikTok live discussion about this whole Nolan Wales thing, right? About the kid, the Jake kid that got, unalived by his group of Edomite friends. All right, he went out to like this private little beach thing with them, and he's the only one that didn't make it back. So people are suspecting something suspicious happened, that they actually unalive him. And one common theme that keeps coming up in these discussions that I'm listening to is that people are saying, oh, you need to get out and vote, change the laws in Mississippi, change the people that's, on your local level, making things shake out there. Which, look, when you go into it and you dig a little deeper, yes, voting on a local level can have some type of effect within your local cities, but that ain't gonna fix the bigger problem. That ain't gonna fix the bigger issue. That's not gonna address, the trauma and the years and years and years of oppression and being downtrodden that so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans have been through. It's a lot of things that Jake has gone through and continues to go through that has to do with their captivity and being oppressed and being enslaved and, forced to work for free, and build up, Britain and America and, these countries around the world. Let me get this right here. Luke chapter 1, verse 68. It says, blessed be the Lord power of Israel. All right? One of our laws says you're not supposed to be voting to set up no other king over you. Here it is, you partaking in elections, local elections, state elections, whatever, primaries, to put up somebody over you that's bound and has restrictions according to the system that enslaved your forefathers and currently has you enslaved. Don't you got a driver's license? Don't you got a social security number? Aren't you, don't you got to pay taxes and all these, you're confined, you're a slave. So you're participating in this system in a way that you shouldn't be participating in, because the creator is the power of Israel. All right, so if you know that Israel has a power, you need to be calling on and relying on that power to save you, to deliver you, to help you get through this captivity until he delivers you out of this captivity. You can't look for no man or woman or no type of, politician to save you. When you go into the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28, it says no man shall be able to buy you, meaning no man should be able to save you. So you look at any of these political leaders or any of these activists that pop up on behalf of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they haven't been able to save you out of the predicament of being under this monopolized system of America, this debt-based system of America. All right, you get up and you work a 9 to 5 according to how they designed it. Going back to the industrial age, people started working 9 to 5 factory jobs and so forth and so on. You get up and work these jobs at companies that only further the enterprise and, strength of America, while you don't even make money that helps you live properly. And because you're so oppressed and going through so many different emotions and saddened and downtrodden, the little money that you do make, you spend that on comforts to try to distract you from your miserable life. So you end up with no type of money. Because, yeah, you want to save money, but don't nobody want to save money when their life is miserable, man, and miserable, and they don't see a future for them in this place. So, of course, people are going to blow their money on women, blow their money on food, blow their money on alcohol, blow their money on gambling, or whatever, brings them some sense of fun in their life, So, you have to realize that the Creator is the power of Israel. So let's continue reading Luke chapter 1, verse 68. Blessed be the Lord power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people, meaning to buy us back, right? All right? Provide a way for us to come back to him. And we're not, look, if you participate in elections and voting and trying to change Mississippi, your mind is in the wrong fucking place, because obviously you think that you're going to be able to thrive on here in this system. And Jake is simple. They'll look at celebrities that have touched $1 million, so forth and so on, and think, see, we can make it, not knowing those people are under restrictions too, under heavy taxation, under certain things they can do and can't do. All right. And a lot of times those people will come out and explain to you how they're not happy with the lives that they have and the things that they got to do to retain or keep, the lifestyle that they're living over here. All right. So when our people are getting murdered or being done unjustly in this court system, all right, this police system, all right, however you want to word it, when we're being done unjustly, you have to know that this has been going on since we've been captive, since we've been brought over here. Shit has been going on since even the ancient Roman Empire. That's why our people were waiting on the Lord to restore the kingdom to Israel. Right, when he first came the first time, they said, Lord, at this time, in Acts, they said, Lord, will you at this time restore the kingdom unto Israel? Why did they ask that? Because they knew that the prophecies in the scrolls of Isaiah and the prophets of old prophesied about a kingdom coming that will replace all the kingdoms of old, and there will be a kingdom of peace, all right, and being able to actually live and enjoy the earth under Yahushua and King David. But our people have lost the plot. Our people are focused on getting the bag. Go in there, go y'all bag, spend that shit. That's what our people are focused on. Our people are focused on becoming the popular one amongst their group of friends, who can dress the flyest, who can pull the most holes, who can, who's the coolest, who got the most money, let's go to the club and show out. Let's go to this event and show out. That's what the minds of these people are concerned with, because they spend all their time on social media. All right, they spend all their time, looking at, and idolizing other people's lives, and they want to be like the people that they idolize, and they want to be looked up to and praised. These people aren't concerned with what the Creator requires from them, what the Creator is concerned about, what type of life they should be living for their Creator to be pleased with them. So when situations arise, that where our people are done unjustly, either they'll turn a blind eye to it and say, well, it hasn't affected me and my family, so I'm acting like it doesn't exist. I'm acting like, let's not bring up race, Or on the other hand, they'll run to the, activism and the voting and all that shit. But none of them will get their life right with Yahweh Shem Rashah. So when we go back to Luke chapter 1, and we go to verse 69 now, it says, and the Lord power have raised up a horn of salvation for us, means a way of being saved, in the house of his servant David. And when you look at a horn on an animal, it represents his strength, it represents his power. Any animal that has a horn on its head, they lead with the head first to attack, because they know that's their power, that's their strength, right? So if our horn is Yahushua, aren't we supposed to be leading with Yahushua? Aren't we supposed to be praying to Yahushua? Aren't we supposed to be inquiring what Yahushua wants for us? That's how we get a refuge of shelter, a safety blanket, a covering. All right. That's how we get safety from the dangers of this evil place, because our people are going to continue to get, as long as we're in this captivity, our people are going to continue to get unalive and done unjustly. All right. So you want to make sure you're pleasing your power to the best of your ability, so your power will keep you safe, keep you guarded, have a shield around you. Right? You get that, man. You got our people sitting in these chat groups talking about how they need to vote to change. This niggas still talking about voting, man. The hell wrong with these niggas? Proverbs, the 18th chapter, going down to verse 10, right? It says, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. So what is the righteous? Because we know none of us are perfect. But those that are keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of their ability, those that are fearing the Lord, praying to the Lord, working on themselves according to the Spirit of the Lord, the mercy and grace that the Lord has provided us with, the time of grace that He's provided us with, the outlets He's given us through our teachers, all right, allowing us to understand these parables, these breakdowns, these dark sayings, these mysteries of the scriptures, the seals that have been, broken by Yahushua to unleash this knowledge unto us, so we can be redeemed and brought back to the Father through Yahushua's sacrifice, through His blood. All right, we are able to be seen as the righteous. We have a chance to have our garments cleaned and whitened through the blood of Hamashiach Yahushua, not through our own works, through our own strength, because we're weak. We can't save ourselves. We can't deliver ourselves. But we're able to have our filthy garments cleaned and washed through the blood of Hamashiach Yahushua and be seen as righteous in the sight of the Lord. So we run up into that name. It's a strong power. It's a strong tower and a strong power, but it's a strong tower. And there you will find safety and protection and guidance to do the proper things, to know where to go, to know what to do, to know where not to go, to know what not to do. All right? For the Lord, the Lord shall fight for you. You remember that? I remember that old gospel song, Yolanda Adams, "The battle is not yours." That is true. But it's also partly not true, because the battle is ours. We have to fight through Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua. We are the ones fighting, because the scriptures talk about putting on that helmet of, helmet of faith, the breastplate, salvation, your sword, all these things, right? The shield, the helmet of salvation, the shield of faith, roughly paraphrasing, but we are fighting the battle. Scriptures say we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. Us that, wickedness in high places. Us that are all, in this ministry, teaching His word, pushing His truth out through our weak vessels. We're in the battle, but we're fighting through the names of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua. We're not fighting through a system. We're not fighting through man. We're not looking for man to save us or provide us justice. We know the Lord put us in captivity. We know the Lord told us we would be done unjustly. That's the problem now with you niggas. We know by the mercy and grace of the Lord opening our eyes to the truth of the scriptures, that the Lord was going to bring us into a place where we would not be done justly. So guess what? We're not going to look to the people that are doing us wrong to do us right. We're going to look unto the power that put us in this situation, that brought us into captivity, and look towards Him, ask what He wants from us, and continue to do what we got to do, so He'll deliver us out of this situation. That's how that goes, man. All right. So yeah, I wanted to touch on that real quick, man. You Jakes, sitting up in these damn chat groups, talking about we got to continue to vote and go out and go to the city council meetings and let our voice be heard. These niggas are sick, man. They're gone. But yeah, until the next time I say shalom.